do, 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 do. Hey everybody! How is everybody today? It is Wednesday morning, and I didn't post any of these vendor event series things yesterday because it was just a crazy day. I had to go do some pre-op tests for my surgery, and it was just a little crazy. So today, though, I'm going to do two Periscopes this morning, and hopefully two this afternoon. I'm going to do two back-to-back. Good morning. So let's just get right into it. So this one is vendor events, how to prepare before you go. You really need to prepare. It's so important. You just can't get there and throw your stuff up on a table and think that you're going to be successful with it. This really is all about having a strategic plan. Why am I so... sorry, squirrel. Having a strategic plan about your table and about what's going on. And even if you've been doing vendor events for a really long time, before every vendor event, about 2 or 3 days before, I go through my event bag and I pull everything out. I get it all organized. I'm a little OCD, so I have a way that I like to put things away and the way that I like to get them out of the bag. And it just really helps me with the setup and the takedown and to pay attention to what I've got and what's going on. So, okay, here we go. How to prepare. First of all, think about going to a yard sale and think about going to Nordstrom's or your favorite store and how it's marketed. You don't want a yard sale like looking table, and you don't want a science fair looking table. I don't like those trifold boards. Sorry if you're using them. I don't love them. You want a nice, professional, clean, crisp looking display that highlights our product. You're not at a science fair and you're not at a yard sale. So you really, really, really want to think about how you want it, how you want your presentation to be. So you want to plan your decor. You want to plan what it's going to be like. We're in the fall selling season. Do you want it to be fallish? Fallish. When it gets to Christmas, I always put little lights, and I have a little Christmas tree, and I do little stockings. So plan your decor. I've seen some vendors though, and I see them at the same events over and over and over, and their table always looks exactly the same. That's okay, you know, for them too. But I'm always looking to draw people in. So and I was a school teacher, so I'm always thinking about the decor, and I'm always planning the decor. So think about that. Do you want to plan up your decor? And then I'm just going to run through some things of what I think is really important that you have in your kit before you go. So here we go. I'm going to read my list because I'm doing my homework. I don't want to forget anything for you guys. So of course you want to have samples. You want to have your samples. If you want to have them cut up into strips so that, you know, people are trying them out. There's some great pictures I've seen floating around. Lisa Erickson, I think, has a great display. It's like a crystal acrylic organizer. You can get them at Bed Bath & Beyond, and you know, you can put your samples in that. But how are you going to have your samples? Make sure if you're going to do a raffle basket, which I highly recommend you do, your raffle basket is put together before you leave your house. You are not putting your raffle basket together at the event, and you are not putting together a giveaway. If they need a giveaway, you already need to know about that. We talked about that in the prior Periscope. If you have to have a giveaway for the event, that is done before you get there. Don't be putting it together while you're at your table. Display stands. Height is so important. Make sure you've got some, you can get clear acrylic display stands if you'd like. I'll get back to your question in a minute. Ask me questions at the end. We'll do that. Otherwise, I'll get off track. Display stands. Make sure that you have display stands. I think that they're really important to show height. You can get acrylic display stands. You can buy them online. I've seen them on Amazon. I've seen them at Staples. So that's available to you. If you don't want to spend the money to do that, cover some shoe boxes. Take some Jamberry boxes. Put fabric over your table to create some height. Frames. I love frames. You can't have too many frames, in my opinion. You can get them really cheaply at Hobby Lobby and online and some things like that. We're going to talk next Periscope about at the actual vendor event, but in your frames, you want to have things like a "we're hiring" sign and, you know, ask me about my business, different creative things like that. So you've got to have that ready before you go. You can't be scribbling that in blood on a piece of paper and tacking it up to your science fair board. And I'm only saying this because I've seen events that look like that. I've seen event displays. Balloons. I love the Jamberry balloons. I hope they're still in the back office. I bought like a gajillion packs at one point in time. But balloons, they add movement. You know, you want to do something to draw people in. So having your display look nice, but having balloons, you can always just pick up some nice white and raspberry colored balloons at the store. Make sure you have printouts of the current Sister Style exclusive, the Host exclusive, and Style Box. That's not anything that's in our current catalogs or in the current literature. So make sure that those things are printed out. Otherwise, you're going to feel like a dope trying to look around and find that stuff when you're at your event. Make sure you have host and join packets. You have to have those. Have 5 or 6 of them. Have them sitting out on your table. Have them in a cute display basket. I have one friend of mine that sells Scentsy, and she does this cute little thing. She wraps up payday candy bars with, would you like more information about having a Scentsy payday? So ours would say having a Jamberry payday, and she's got it wrapped up really cute. And then if they want one of those, they have to give her some information, and then they get that in a packet. Really cute. It draws people in. Have some sort of conversation piece on your table. Think about that. Think about something that brands you. I know you're not going to believe this, but I have a little unicorn that I take that I put on my table. And, you know, it just draws, you know, things, people in, they ask about it. You know, it has nothing to do with Jamberry. I know somebody that takes like a vintage typewriter, and she has it on her table, like up on a riser. Has nothing to do, she sells like home decor, so I guess it does. But, you know, think about having some sort of a conversation piece. If you want to have gift certificates available, I know Jamberry doesn't have gift certificate forms per se, but there are some templates that I've seen floating around. Make sure that you take those so you can sell gift certificates. And, you know, make sure that it says that it's redeemable through you only, that type of a thing. Take your product, of course. You want to make sure if you've got any product that you bring it with you. I don't necessarily encourage people to buy a lot of product. We are not a company where you need inventory, but I definitely think that you either need to print out that great Flickr picture and put it in a frame of all of the different finishes we have, or have a sample sheet of each of the different types of finishes so people can see them. Make sure you have a sheet of juniors, and make sure that you have a sheet of the tips on hand so people can see that. Of course, you want to make sure besides your display stands, you've got your tablecloth. If you've purchased a pop-up banner, make sure you've got that. I actually one time went with the stand and not the banner. So make sure you've gone through and have all of that stuff together. Your marketing materials, business cards, host join brochures, catalogs. Make sure that you've got that kind of stuff. Take your calendar or your planner. You are there to book parties and to make appointments with ladies to talk to them about the business. Have your planner. Make it look like, you know, you're a professional. I take old catalogs. A lot of people say to me, oh, I don't want to give out new catalogs. I don't know what I should give out. Should I just give out host join brochures? What should I do? I give out old catalogs like crazy at events. And I have this little poem that I have. I'm going to read it to you here. I put it on all of my old catalogs, and it says, although this catalog is old, take one look and you will be sold. Contact me for a new catalog. So If people want a catalog, I say something like, oh my gosh, I just ran out, but here's one of our old catalogs. We have still a lot of the same designs, but I'd love to have a party with you, love to talk to you about the business. And so if you want to get with me, I can get you a new catalog. But just go online. You can check out everything we have also. So you want to make sure that you do that. So those are, okay, here it is again. Thanks for asking. Although this catalog is old, take one look and you will be sold. Contact me for a new catalog. And then I just put my name, my web address, and my phone number. But all that stuff is already on the back on a little label anyway, but I put that on the front. So those are a few things that I want you to think about when planning your vendor event. Remember, think about where you like to shop. A vendor event is a shopping event. Even though we are there to brand ourselves and to book parties and to get new team members. We already talked about, I don't want you to be disappointed if you don't sell one thing. But it's all in the presentation. You want people stopping in. And if it looks junky and yard sale and like you don't care, nobody's going to care to stop by. Less is better, in my opinion. You know, don't throw so much stuff up there that it's cluttered and just junky and awful. So think about that in your preparation of what you're taking. You can always take too much and then cut it back when you get there, but make sure that you have, you know, your most important things. And if you can have 2 tables and make them L-shaped, that's awesome. Then you can draw people into your booth and, you know, you can have more area. So in closing, prepare, prepare, prepare. I always say readers are leaders and preparers are good event people. So have your event planned out. Don't just go there just willy-nilly and think that you're going to throw some stuff up. Yes, we look great when we come in there and we throw our booth together and we're not lugging in 47,000 crock pots and 110 tote bags. I mean, our booth displays are really pretty easy to put together. But if you know, get yourself prepared and get ready, it's going to look really easy. You're going to get it put up together. You're not going to be frustrated. You're going to know where everything is in your bag and you're going to get it put together really well. And yes, get yourself dressed nicely. I'm going to talk about what to dress in the next Periscope. That's going to be the next one. See, I wanted these to be short, sweet, and simple, but you know, I like yakety yak all the time. So there you go. So, okay. All right. Do I have any recommendations for an in-home vendor event? I think they're great. You're going to approach it the same way that you would do any other vendor event. Just how I think it's so important that we translate what goes on in the in-home party to the virtual party. If you're going to be doing any type of a vendor event, you need to be doing the same exact thing that you would be doing anywhere else. You need to represent yourself in the very best way. When you do it in a home, though, a lot of times you're going to have less traffic. You're going to have less people. So you really want to, you know, kind of focus in on what the market is, who's going to be there, and who that you're going to attract. Somebody asked earlier what I put in a raffle basket. You know, you put whatever you want in there. You all know what your budgets are and what you can afford. Of course, it's a tax deduction, so you can write that off. But, you know, I'll put a sheet of wraps in there, maybe one of the, you know, the most popular ones. If it's a holiday, I'll put a holiday themed one in there. I put my catalog. I put a manicure kit, not necessarily a full Jamberry kit. I don't give away anything and if it's not Jamberry logoed. I don't go to the dollar store. I don't support to the Dollar Tree. I support Connie Lucida and my own business. So I give away Jamberry logo nail files. You know, you want your raffle basket to be something that somebody wants to buy something from. Shannon in my downline went to an event not as a vendor, and she saw a gal had a Jamberry raffle basket, and it had a box of Sally Hansen nail strips in it. Shoot me now. So anything that you do at a vendor event, think about it from yourself being the consumer. Would you stop at that booth? Would you do it? Look at your booth with a critical eye. If this is your first event, you know what I did? I set up an event myself, you know, on my dining room table, you know, that type of a thing, you know, to make sure that it looked good. So make sure your table looks good, that it represents you well. And please, no science fair boards. Please, please, please. Anyway, okay. Anybody else have any questions before we close this scope? Gift certificates are good in raffle baskets too. And you want to put, please contact me. So, do I have a tent? Yes, I have a pop-up tent for outside events. I sure do. All right. All right. How and when do you incorporate a Jamberry Journey bag? Britt, I don't even know what you're talking about. Sorry. A Jamberry Journey bag? I don't know what you mean. Tell me what you mean real quick. What do you do when the music is so loud at the event? You go to the event coordinator and tell them the music is so loud nobody can hear each other. Oh, I didn't get to any of the summits, Britt. It was my mom's birthday. I have no idea, but I will check into it and we will pair. Oh, it represents your journey. Oh, that's a good idea. Well, you know what represents my journey that I have? I use the photo album, you know, the Jamberry photo album, and I've oh, that's another thing. I should have put that on here. You want to make sure that you take your photo album. I've got, you know, I do that. Oh, and Angie Porter did a YouTube video. There you go, on the Jamberry Journey thing. So that's really good. See, I'm learning something new today. But I would have to say my my photo album shows my Jamberry Journey, because what I've tried to do in there is put special wraps that I've earned, and I really just kind of talk about, you know, things like that. I don't want to contradict what they said at Summit, but a lot of times, you know, depending upon how busy your table is, I really think talking more about my Jamberry Journey is one of those things that I do kind of more on a one-on-one, but I really need to know what they talked about at Summit to be able to answer that. What's the word I'm looking for? You know, in a good way. Yeah, I would say it would definitely be home party. I don't know that I would do that in an event, because I do talk about my Jamberry journey. Yes, please PM me. Please, please, please. Okay, so this is just the how to get ready. We're going to do a whole nother Periscope on what you're actually going to do when you're there at the vendor event, but this was just for how to get ready, okay? How do you draw in bookings? We're going to talk about that on the Periscope when we talk about what to do at the vendor event, but you want to make sure that you bring bookings. So what you're going to prepare for, bring your calendar, bring your booking packets, and then you know, you have like a sign, you know, make a sign or something that says join my team, or hiring now, or different things like that. There's lots of you can play pop the balloon. There's different games that you can play. So that kind of all goes into the theme of your event. And so, you know, you do want to be prepared for that. So good question. You know, you do want to take that and make sure that you have it. So it depends on where you are and how much money you want to spend and what types of things that you want to do. We've done pop the balloon. There's lots of, some of my girls are doing these Jamplinko boards now, which I think, if you followed me earlier, I showed Shannon's. You know, there's wheels that you can make. You can spin the wheel. which those can become conversation pieces. So good question. I'm glad you asked that. We will talk about that now. So you definitely want to make sure that those types of things that you are ready and that you do have that with you. So make sure that you've got that. And then one thing I forgot while I was talking, when we talked about the raffle basket, make sure you have your tear off pads, for getting people's information, have small clipboards, have a packet of, take a thing of pens. So lots of things like that. I think taking a buddy is great. I think that, if you've just recently got a new team member, or if you have a team member in the area, definitely take a buddy. That way you can do bathroom breaks. That way somebody can be doing samples. If somebody else wants to talk to people about the business, somebody can be walking around talking to other vendors. So I think it's really great to take somebody who's on the team with you. So, and the time does go quicker. You're right. So, okay. All right. So that's how to prepare. I'm sure I've left things off. So we will, do different things like that. Your closest team member is 24 hours away. Then recruit somebody that lives close to you. You can do it. I know you can. When you're at those events, find somebody who's interested in the business. Put that out there to your friends and family right now, or just to put that out on Facebook. Hey everybody, I got a full calendar of events and I want somebody to come with me and work, get a Jamberry business and work a business with me, or I don't know, however you want to make it sound. But, invite someone, tell them that you've got this going on and that you'd love to have them to come and help you. Okay. So I'm going to close up this scope, and I'm going to do the next one pretty quickly right after. And we're going to talk about how to dress. All right. Chat soon.